I remember many years ago when I was learning how to meet women and I was trying to get more dates and get better at building attraction. One of the hardest things for me personally was initiating a kiss, getting to the point where I could not just get to the kiss, but even just perform it, right? Just to go for it. And I didn't even think I was a bad kisser. I wasn't worried about kissing itself, which is funny, right? It's like I had a little bit of confidence with kissing once it would happen, but getting to that point was so scary for me. I don't know if you relate. If you do, hit that thumbs up button. But I just know that this was something that I had to practice over and over again. Like I had to practice getting over the fear of initiating a kiss. And also, a lot of the clients that I work with are having this fear too. So they say it to me. I hear about it all the time. They're like, when do I go for the kiss? How do I go for the kiss? How do I make this happen? So that's why I'm making this video, to give you a little easy technique to teach you about how to initiate a kiss for the first time with a girl that you're either on a date with or a girl that you're just talking to for the first time. So you want to be able to learn this technique so that you can escalate to more. So the whole point is you want to initiate a kiss so you can get out of the friend zone, and then it can lead to more, getting more physical. This is the start of getting physical. So that's why you want to make sure that you're implementing this technique and you're doing it right. So first things first is, when do you go for the kiss? When are you actually going to do it? Well, I want you to do it only if you're having a good time. So this makes it really easy for you. A lot of guys are like, when should I go for the kiss? What's the perfect time? And you're only thinking of that because you're thinking about how she's feeling. Of course, you do want to have some social awareness, right? Like if she's having a terrible time, you're not going to kiss. But again, if she's having a terrible time, that's probably going to make you have a bad time too. So the indicator is, am I having a good time? You want to focus on you and how you're feeling. Am I having a good time? Has this been a fun time? Am I enjoying this date? Am I enjoying her? Again, you can make this easy and take it to the point where you're not solely focused on her, because it is hard to read a woman. I've been on dates before where it seems like the girl's having a terrible time, but I was having a good time, and I went for the kiss, and she was interested, right? You thought that I thought she was maybe going to reject me, but she didn't. So it's hard to say whether or not you should go for a kiss based on solely how they're feeling. So focus more on you. I think the best time to go for a kiss, if you just want to make it really simple for yourself, is do it towards the end of the date. Okay, this is the typical time to do it. This is where there's been hopefully enough time to build attraction, because you need time there, right? You need to spend time with her for her to get to know you, you to get to know her. So it makes sense, and it's pretty common sense, and I still believe that that is the best time to do it. Can you do it in the middle of the date? Yeah, of course you can, and it is possible. But I would only do that if it really calls for it and you guys are just like really close to each other and you can make it happen. Otherwise, towards the end of the date is just fine. And you can do it before she's getting into her Uber or wherever she's going. If you end up walking her home, I know that my current girlfriend, I actually walked her home and then I kissed her before she went inside. So just somewhere towards the end of the date where it makes sense. The way that you're gonna do this is you're going to create a silence. What you're gonna do here is you're gonna stop talking. Okay, you're gonna stop talking. This is gonna make it so it's less awkward. A lot of guys are really awkward about it because they're not finding that little silence, finding that time where you're not speaking. Of course, there's some exceptions. Maybe she's talkative, and then you can just say, stop for 1 second. And then you pause, you go, stop for 1 second. And then you go in for the kiss. However, most times you can just stop talking and they'll stop talking. There'll be about 2 seconds of silence. Boom, that's when you go for it, okay? Right there, right then. Then it's less awkward, and then you know that this is the appropriate time to do it. I actually have another way of doing this, of initiating a kiss. It's called Tripp's tension technique. It's a way of building tension and then going for the kiss. It's worked for a lot of guys, and it's a free video, so I'll leave a link down below in the description. I've talked about it many times before. It's awesome. It's going to show you a live demonstration with me and another girl. So this is going to be another way that you'll be able to initiate the kiss. Now here's how you can practice this. And I know this is going to sound a little crazy, but just hear me out here. Anytime you're talking to somebody, create a silence. Of course, if you're talking to someone who's a friend of yours, you're not going to go for a kiss, but practice just shutting up for a second and getting into silence mode. It's going to be hard to practice this unless you're getting a lot of dates. So that's why I'm saying to you, practice this when you are talking to a friend, a family member, whatever. Just stop talking, and then they stop talking, and then create a silence just for a couple of seconds and feel comfortable in that dead space. And then of course you can just continue your conversation from there. But this is going to be great practice. So you'll be, boom, ready to do this when you go on a date with a woman, when you meet up with her for the first time, or when you do some sort of cold approach and you meet her at a bar or wherever. So you can totally do this. It works like a charm. So that's going to be the way to practice it. Get Tripp's tension technique. It is free. It's a free video. It's going to show you a live demo, like I said, of how to initiate the kiss. It helps tremendously. If you like this video, by the way, subscribe, because I got more videos coming out just like this that's going to help you with dating and attraction. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you on the next video.